Tim, should we tell the listeners how to join the Golfweek Amateur Tour?
Yes, of course. We should probably do it now before we forget, though.
I agree. It's simple. All you need to do is go to amateurgolftour.net, click the Join the Tour button, and pay your local tour's membership.
Thanks, Chris. Membership for 2024 is open, so register today to join the oldest, largest, and best amateur tour in the country.
And remember, this podcast can be found on all the major platforms. So make sure you like, download, and share it with all your friends and family.
Chris, that's a great idea. Now, on to the show.
Tim, we're back at it again with another episode. How you been?
I've been good, and looking forward to this episode. We got some good stuff. Hope everybody hangs with us till the end on this one.
Yeah, we got two great guests. We have the winner of our first shirt contest for January and the winners from the senior icebreaker. You ready to get this started?
Yeah, let's go and get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, Golfweek Amateur Tour, the podcast. Talking about all things Golfweek Amateur Tour, including interviews with tour directors, players, and course pros. Now, here are your hosts, Atlanta Tour Director Tim Newman and El Paso Las Cruces Director Chris Rocha.
Welcome back, Chris. No, it's the end of February, so you know what happens on March 1st, right?
A lot of things happen on March 1st, but you tell me.
Well, that's when the tour really gets going. That's when the majority of tours are playing. We already have some tours playing, and we've had a lot of tournaments already. But come March 1st, we've got pretty much almost everybody opens up. We have a couple of those northern tours that don't up until like July, but pretty much everybody else is playing come March.
That is true. I mean, March is usually our busiest month, membership-wise and tournament-wise. So a lot of things are going to kick up there. There's going to be our episodes that are going to come out, which are going to be more exciting with more content to bring out, with more tours playing. Maybe some more entries for that shirt contest.
Yeah, we have to get more entries. We'll talk about the January winner here in just a little bit, but need more entries. I do want to bring up something that Shane, that the Tampa Tour Director, brought up in the last episode. The whole issue with regionals and where we find them.
Right.
It's I don't know how I want to put it. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine. Guys don't generally read all the emails, right? And
that's facts.
They sometimes say they don't understand or they don't get the information. And I get it. I mean, I'm guilty of that at times too. But we're talking about golf. This is important stuff, right? Regionals. Right. I mean, it's important, and if you want to get the maximum amount of points, you got to be playing in regionals. So you got to know where to find them. So understand, guys, there are two main ways to find them. First and foremost, it's the tour's homepage. So at amateurgolftour.net. If you go to amateurgolftour.net, all the regionals are sitting right there on the homepage.
Yep.
It's laid out, looks nice. All you have to do is click on the picture, and it takes you to the regional page. And all the regional pages are all set up the exact same way. You can register from right there. You can pay from right there on each regional page. You can look at the roster. I mean, there's all kinds of information there. The courses you're playing, if there's any hotel discounts, everything can be done right from that page. So if you go, like I said, go right to the tour's homepage, amateurgolftour.net, that's what you're going to see right away.
Yeah, I mean, it's right there, easy to use. But like you said, the emails that the directors spend the time with to get out to y'all, there's important information on there. I know me, for one, started to do what we would call a moving day once a month. And if, we'll check your handicap, see if you want to move a flight. And still have players asking me when they can submit their request to move a flight. And that happened the day after Valentine's Day, and they're still asking me that. So please read your emails, because they are important. Whether you've signed up for all your events all year long, you might see a snippet in there that might catch your eye for something.
Well, Chris, I got a solution for your moving day problem.
What's that?
if they didn't catch it and they want to move, be sure I'd be happy to move you right up to the A flight.
I mean, it is what it is. You know, you
I
hear all
understand.
the excuses. I have too many emails to go through. I didn't get it, but when you know the things that we use, you can tell if you got it and opened it or not.
Right.
So
Right.
that's a
it kinda
story
makes
for
me laugh.
another episode.
Right, exactly. But it makes me laugh because what I don't know if a lot of people know this, but my full-time job, my day job is I'm a college professor, and the excuses that I get, I just look at them and start shaking my head, and it's normal. So
Right.
it's funny but normal. The other way to find these regionals is it's kind of funny saying this, if you're on the tour's homepage and you can't find the regionals from the tour homepage, if you go to find a tour near me, the drop-down menu with all the other tours listed there, all the way down to the bottom, there's a regionals page. So you can go there as well.
Yes.
And that's set up and looks just like the tour homepage.
So there's two ways.
Yes. Yeah, there's two ways. So, and you know what, when I had a conversation, and I forget who I was talking to about this. It was just the other day, and we were having this conversation. I said, I don't understand number one, how you can't find it, because you go to the homepage every time you go to the webpage anyway. He says, well, I have the Atlanta page saved as a homepage, which,
right.
That's great. But Chris, even I don't do that. When I log on, I go right to the tour homepage. I very rarely go straight. I never go straight to the Atlanta page.
Uh-huh.
So even if you're on a regular tour page, like an El Paso page or Atlanta or whatever tour, if you go to that find a tour near me and go to the drop down menu, there is that regional page there. So
Definitely. Or the drop down menu and just hit home. It'll take you right there.
anyway, so moving on, we do have a winner for the January shirt contest, and
Yes, we do.
and that's coming up later on the episode. We have some other big news coming up later in the episode, so please hang tight with us. But our first guest, he's from the Great White North up in Minneapolis. It's tour director Matt Foch. Matt, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
No problem. How's the snow out there?
You know what? We've only got a little bit of snow, so we're living the dream.
So what's the temperature? Because I saw a Facebook post from a buddy in Milwaukee, Mike Miller, who plays on the Milwaukee tour. He said it was 50. He was playing golf in the 50s either yesterday or today.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm looking at it's 49 degrees right now.
Pass. Hard pass.
Are you kidding? This is like summertime over here.
Hard pass. We were 78 and I'm wearing a sweater. Hard pass.
I'm jealous, very jealous.
But see that again, Matt, here in about 2 months when it's 90 degrees, he's going to be complaining it's too hot too. So
Right. Then you'll have to come join us. Then we'll be perfect.
So Chris likes it like 80.
In the 80 to 89, we're good.
Yeah, we
90s,
get about
I'll tolerate it. 100s, we better have our early tea time. Below 80, I mean, it's okay, but I'll wear a sweater and not be able to swing. So there's a complaint for everything.
And
Yeah,
it's got to be
no-
dry too. No rain, no wind.
fair
No,
weather.
you know what? Honestly, I love the wind. I play better in the wind because I know
Okay.
everybody else is complaining about the wind, and they got to head into it and hope and pray to God that it goes with it. And if it doesn't, let's get closer.
I'm with you on that. I like the conditions.
All right, so talk a little bit about wind, Matt. You went out to the Vegas regional, a few weeks ago. Tell us what your experience was like out there. What do you think? Let's take a quick break and hear from our sponsor, Srixon.
A great iron set needs more than good looks. It's got to be fast and got to be pure. But good looks never hurt either. The all-new ZX Mark II irons from Srixon.
Oh, the Paiute, first of all, great place. Really like that place. And that tournament was a lot of fun. Obviously, Dennis running it. He does a great job every time. So that was good times. Came up a little short in the end, but I really enjoyed my time out there in Vegas every time.
Yeah, you were hanging in there right up. I mean, right up to the last couple holes of the tournament.
Yeah, and I actually just refreshed my memory, looked at the results, and I realized that I dropped down a couple spots there at the end because so that doesn't really tell the story. I was sitting there, come to 18, and all I had to do was make a par, and I just couldn't get it done.
Well, it happens. So are you somebody that actually looks at the leaderboard, or you just play and let it fall where it falls?
Most of the time I'm not a leaderboard watcher. I'll because it's going to kind of influence you. So I'll let it ride down to the end, maybe the last couple of holes, because you do need to know what's going on at the finish, right? I mean, if you need a birdie, you may step on one where otherwise you can just lay an iron out there, which ironically, that's what I should have done, was lay an iron out there and make it easy par. But I did the opposite and went for it with a driver, put it in the bunker, and just couldn't get her up and down. So,
well, it happens. The Saturday was kind of windy, but Sunday was relatively nice weather out there too.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, all the guys in my group, that's all we were saying was we got real lucky. I mean, a little chilly, but for the most part on Sunday, it was great weather.
No, it was cold for me.
Yeah.
Tim, I'm not lying. When I came in on Saturday, I was shaking. It was cold. And we finished right before sunset. I don't know how the hell we were so late.
Well,
yeah, it was frosty.
Yeah. I joke and make fun of Chris, but I didn't even go outside because it was too cold. So I stayed inside.
Well,
yeah,
I think he had the right ideas.
He was supposed to bring me a coffee and some other
one. You're on your own.
Nope.
I walked outside.
He left me out there to dry.
Well, I walked outside, put the drone up for like 10 minutes and said, no, it's too cold. I'm back inside. I got to go.
Well, to speak to the cold, I'll say this. On Saturday, the first round, I got out to the first green. I took my divot tool out. And I stuck it in the ground. I twisted it and just bent it in half almost.
That's my goodness.
That's how cold the greens were.
Yep. He's not lying. It was frozen over.
Yeah, that was a good event. That golf course is great. Or all those golf courses out there are really nice. I like playing out there a lot.
Yeah. Did you spend any time in any casinos out there?
Not really. We stayed at the Oyo because I booked kind of last minute for the hotel. So we played a little bit of blackjack there, but not too much. I'm not a big gambler.
Yeah. Okay.
Only on the golf course.
I understand. That's fine too. So you've been in charge of Minneapolis tour for a few years now, and you've been growing it as been getting bigger and better every year. So what's your secret?
Well, it's kind of boring, I guess. It's just putting the ads out there. So early on, it was all word of mouth. That's all I was doing, and I was hitting the pavement hard. I would, telling everybody everywhere I went about it, at the range, at the golf course, everywhere you could be. And that wasn't getting the job done. So I scraped together a few shekels and we started running some ads. And that really bumped our membership, I almost doubled it, I guess, over a couple of years. I think that's the way to go. I mean, I know money is the issue for almost everybody, right? We don't have huge budgets, but whatever you can, pump that in, and that helps a lot.
When does golf season really start for you all? Yeah, I know maybe you can play, here and there, but when does it really start?
Yeah, so, this winter, we fingers crossed that it stays the way it is because we'll get out early. And early would be, beginning of April.
Wow.
So that kind of tells you if that's early, we don't really get into green grass until kind of mid-May is when it starts to get green around here.
Okay.
So it's a short season, right?
Yeah, but even, I mean, even playing in May, we probably my guess is probably June is probably a really nice time to play. I mean, it's started to get warm, but not too hot. The course are really starting to become in really good condition.
Yeah, absolutely. June is really kind of prime time, right? So June and July is prime time, and then August it'll get hot. So Chris, if you want to come up to Minnesota, August is your window.
There we go.
and hot is what, 85?
Well, yeah, and then but depending on how you do with the humidity, we get really muggy. So that's what makes it kind of tough. We get up to about we get high 80s. and it's brutal with the humidity. So,
but again, it's the humidity that really gets you. Chris being down in El Paso, it's hot, or Gabe in Arizona, it's hot, but the humidity levels really are low. So at least for me, it's nothing compared to being here in Hilton Head or Atlanta, or even in the mid-Atlantic area where it could be 95 degrees, but it's 75-80% humidity, and that's brutal.
Yeah, that's you need a couple of towels, not for your clubs, right? You need to be drying off out there. Exactly.
A couple shirts, you change every 6 holes.
Yeah, you got to take the good with the bad. We're fortunate that it's not too much of that for us. So, and we're pretty blessed up here. In Minnesota, we got a big golf community, and we have a ton of great golf courses. So, I'm sure that's pretty true most places, but we're pretty rich up here with golf courses.
Yeah. So what's your schedule looking like this year?
So we're going to have probably about 12, maybe 13 events. But then again, if we can get out early, we maybe sneak a couple more in there. I still haven't got my schedule up because I'm waiting on the last exciting one to give me the confirmation and put it up there. And I don't want to say it, but the guys around here will be happy when we finalize that.
Okay. So, and I know this is probably reaching. I feel like I'm like my own players. Because my players say, "Need to get on East Lake." Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's real easy. I'll just hook up there and give them a call.
Sure.
Yeah, it's no problem. We'll get on East Lake. What about Hazeltine? Is that ever an option?
It's first on everyone's list. It's first off everyone's tongue. I would love to. And there was a couple years ago where I thought I had an in over there, and it just fizzled out. We couldn't get them on. And a big part of that's going to be numbers, right? So
right.
I do think that it will happen. It's only a matter of time. But once we really need to have the numbers to back up something like that. Now, what I will say is we are going to work at getting them maybe to do a regional over there.
Right.
Because then we could guarantee selling that out. And now
absolutely.
Then they're listening, right?
Right. Yeah, because when the Ryder Cup was there a few years ago, I went up there, and that place is beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful layout. I mean, the property is huge. I loved it up there. So
yeah, that's a beautiful golf course. That's right. You and I talked about that. We probably walked past each other out there. Had no idea we were both there. Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny, and I laugh, when I ask that, because everybody says, how come you're not on East Lake, or, and I'm sure that, some say, how come Augusta doesn't play Augusta National? Okay, yeah, sure. It's just, it's really that easy.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, so I actually humored one of my players, and I said, okay, I'll call East Lake. Because I already know it's not going to happen, but I called just to kind of see what it is. Number one, they only host, I think it's like 2 or 3 outside events all year. Right?
Okay.
And you're number one, I think you've got to guarantee them 30,000.
Right.
And so, just kind of laugh. And so the ones that they're bringing in, you're talking about, major sponsors like Coca-Cola or Delta, or these major companies that are sponsoring these outside events. Anyways, guys, it's not as easy getting the courses as some of you think it is.
Right, and the thing about that also is it's not just getting on the course; it's the price point too. Right. So I'd love to get out there on Hazeltine, but I always tell the guys, hey, look, that comes with a steep price tag. We're doing a 1-day event out there. How bad do you want it?
Right.
Because it gets expensive pretty quick.
Absolutely. Look at, like Whistling Straits, which is not on the regional schedule this year. But it was, $750 for a 2-day event. Yeah, it's worth it. I mean, I think it's worth it, but, not everybody can afford, to do those, do those real expensive events, especially, this. if you guarantee a number and you don't hit that number, that's coming out of Matt's pocket,
Somebody's
pocket,
paying.
or Tim's pocket, right? I mean, so we do have to think about that.
Yeah, that definitely plays into, some of these situations. You're on the hook. So,
Right.
So there's some places that I don't approach just because I already know what the
right.
deal is. But I am getting better at that. I'm feeling a little more comfortable getting out and talking to some of the private courses and really working at them to have them let us come out and use their course. Some are more receptive than others. I know you've been in the game a while, so you know that struggle.
Right. Absolutely. And again, as you've grown the numbers of the tour, they see that as well and say, okay, maybe this is something that we can do, even if it's not going to hit the number that we would normally have. Let's just say if that market is that they're trying to bring in our, your players market, right? And maybe it's a marketing, thing for them. Maybe they'll join their club, which
Right.
happens a lot too. So,
Absolutely.
but you've got to be able to guarantee them. Maybe it's not players, but understand that they're going to come in. They're going to spend money in the pro shop. They're going to spend money, on food and beverage and all those other things, and sell that as well.
Right. That is a big part of it. We're bringing in a big group of guys, and they get thirsty and they get hungry and they leave some money behind.
Yes, they do. So what's going on with your game? I mean, I don't know if everybody knows this, but Matt can play. Matt's a good stick. What are you working on this year?
Well, I tell you, my new mantra is 100 wedges a day keeps the 3 putts away.
Okay.
That's
I
what
like
we're working
that.
on.
I need to do that.
It's, this game. I've been playing this game about 10 years now, and I just, from day one, just addicted. And, getting better is hard. You really just got to keep pounding the pavement. And
you can do that
hold on.
now.
Well, no, I was about to say, if it's snowing up there, how are you doing 100 wedges a day?
Funny you should ask that. Actually, I know I sent you guys that photo, but I just finished up about a month or two ago, probably right before Vegas, building out my simulator. We built a shed out in the backyard that's not really a shed. It's a little golf simulator, and that's how we're getting it done these days.
Yeah, it's not a shed. Looks like a nice palace for a simulator. I mean, when you say shed, people are picturing these wooden sheds, 4 walls and a peak. And this thing looks like if I had the money, I'd pay you to come down and make me one.
I had no idea that was a shed. I really thought that was like maybe a garage or another room in the house that you had. But you actually have to go outside there, and I'm sure you got heat and running water and bed, all those things in there, right? Your wife probably says, "Matt, I haven't seen you in like 3 days. Where you been?" "Oh, I've been hitting golf balls."
Oh, I think that was a legitimate concern of hers, that I might just live out here. But no, we've got everything but the running water. I would have loved to put a bathroom in, but not quite.
So that's how she ensured that you'd actually, come home every day.
Yeah, my bed's still in the house. We got to go inside for that.
Well, yeah. So tell us about the simulator, because I'm telling you that picture. I mean, it looks like it could be, in a store, right? I mean, you got the thing on the wall with the clubs hanging. You got the extra TV, the whole computer set up. Tell us what you got into it.
Okay, so I used to have, I still have, I have the SkyTrack simulator, the launch monitor, I guess they call that. And that's able to simulate, and I've got the E6 software with that. So that's the simulator setup. I was using that in the garage for past, 3-4 years, and it was, taking up the whole garage. Mama can't get her car in there, and it wasn't really a garage anymore, so that wasn't working for us. And I thought, well, I need a place. I live in Minnesota. We need to practice in the winter. And if I'm ever going to actually compete against guys at a decent level, I need to play, because I'm coming down to regionals and I'm playing against guys from Vegas and Texas, and they're going year round, right? So we needed a place for that. I did the homework and I found out, well, I could build a shed, standalone building. I'm a carpenter, so that's no big deal to me. So building the shed was probably the easiest part of the whole process, the structure. But I'll tell you, the building itself, I got about $5,000 in supplies, right? And that's from the foundation up all the way to the roof, and that gets you the building. Then you got to buy the simulator and all the goodies, right?
Right.
So we're probably at about $7,000-8,000 total to make something like this. And that gets us, we've got the putting area in here. So I got 11 by 13 putting green. And I got 5 holes in there. And I raised it up off the floor. And so we put in some actuators on the left and the right side.
Okay.
So I can raise it up a little bit and get some break on my putts going uphill and then coming back downhill.
Wow.
It's a studio. I mean, I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I'm excited.
But it looks phenomenal. You've got a tray for your golf balls, and I can't really tell all of them, but what do you have in the golf ball tray?
Oh man, a lot of places that I've been. So of course, Arbor Town, which was the first course I ever played that the PGA Tour plays. So I got one of those golf balls in there, and pretty much anytime I go somewhere fancy, I try to pick up a logo ball and toss it in. On the other side, I got all my scorecards. So I've been collecting scorecards for a while, so I framed up a bunch of those, and I'm just going to keep filling those up until I don't have any room left on the wall. Well,
so you have to start putting them on the ceiling too.
If all goes well, yeah.
There you go. So Matt, you're the first person that's hearing this. One of the big exciting things that's been going on in the off season is we've been working on a brand new website for the podcast. The current website that we have doesn't allow us to do anything extra. So it has a show notes, but we can't put any multimedia stuff up there. So starting with this episode, this will be the first episode where this website's going to go live. So we're going to post these pictures there, and so everybody can see your setup here. And they're going to love it.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm stoked. I'm really excited about it. It's my game. I just want to let everybody know. Look out.
All right, Luke, I'm sure you heard that, Luke, right?
Oh, I'm going to let HB know as well.
All right.
Yep. Please do get the word out, guys. We're coming. We'll see you. We'll see you at Nationals, and even then, I think we're going to scoot down to Innisbrook. I'm really excited about that regional.
Oh,
there you go, Chris.
That we'll make it out there. We'll make it out there.
Yeah. We're going to have to make it out there soon. That's for sure. So
okay. We will.
When I was living in Pennsylvania, this is oh man, probably 10, 11, 12 years ago. The house that we were living in before we downsized had a garage that I turned into a simulator. Not nearly as nice as that, but in our backyard, I put in a putting green, like one of those. Had a company come in and put in a fake putting green. So,
fantastic!
Yeah, it was. I loved it, and when we did it, it pretty much took up almost the whole backyard. So I really didn't have to cut grass in the back anymore, which was another bonus.
It's a double win, yeah.
Exactly. So, but I love your setup here, Matt. It's great.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm very proud of it. I actually thought about, I should start a business here. We should be selling these things, right?
Here you go.
If you want to donate one for video purposes, let me know.
Yeah,
I'll open
just to get the word out, right?
Right. Just, I got a $100 net and a mat that my dad had in the backyard for 20 years maybe, that I had to wash down, and you should have seen how much dirt came off that thing. It was 100 pounds at the beginning, and after like 30 minutes of washing down, it was 10 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Yeah, I bet.
But that's what I got. And I'm using it as much as I can. But man, when you see something like what you got, it's night and day.
That's beautiful.
Well, thank you. That's where I started too. I was right there with you. I had a net that had holes in it, and, put an old mattress behind it. And this is a long time coming, I guess.
There you go.
Well, you did a nice job with it. And Matt, thanks so much for taking some time with us tonight. I really do appreciate it. And good luck this season. I'm not going to be down at Innisbrook, but wish you best luck down there. And we'll see you in October.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me on. And anytime, I hope to come back soon. Maybe when I get the schedule up here in the next week or so, we'll get back and discuss some details.
Yeah, that'd be great.
There we go.
All right, bud. Take care.
All right. Thanks, fellas.
Chris, I'm really glad we got Matt on. He's a good guy, fun guy to hang out with. But we got to do something with you and your climate requirements about when you can go outside, when you can play golf.
Yeah, I think maybe I over baby it a little bit, but no, Matt's a great guy to be with, and honestly, with the amount of golf that I'm gonna be playing, in the near future. Either I got to start adapting or I'm going to have some trouble with the places we go to. Well,
I would suggest you start adapting. That's probably best.
I think that's the smart route to go to.
Yeah. When talking to Matt, something really struck me that I had no idea about. He's only been playing for 10 years. I don't know if you caught that's what he said. And he's a champ flight guy. I think he's like a 2 or 3 handicap. And, to me, to progress that much, that quickly, at that age, I haven't played as a kid. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I did catch that. I know a couple of my guys, champ flight guys. Well, like we talked with HB, he's only been playing golf, for I think this is his 3rd year after a 10-15 year absence from it,
right? And
being able to pick it up. So some guys are just real natural at it. Unfortunately, you and me, we weren't natural at it. We have to learn how to play this game.
Or not.
But I think But I think with this new simulator he has, we may be seeing him at some other bigger events in the near future.
Yeah, he's got a really good setup, and I think he was a soccer athlete. I think he played soccer growing up.
Right.
So he does come from an athletic background. It's not like he just walked off the street and picked up a club and turned into being a good golfer. So, but he's done great things up there. Looking forward to seeing what they can do this year, and hopefully we'll get him back on here in a few weeks once it warms up there.
Yes, I would love to make it out there. I think one of my bucket lists is to play golf in every state in all 50 states. So eventually I'll have to make it up there to the cold weather areas, but we'll do that in the June, July, August timeframe. And you want that starts with a J or an A, we'll go in.
All right, well, let's go ahead and transition into, our rule segment with Roger. We, haven't talked to him in a while. And like we said, March is in a couple of days, and this is when, the majority of tours really start playing. So let's welcome Roger back in. Roger, welcome, bud.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back. Quick question, Chris. It's going to be 51 here tomorrow for our first tournament. What do you think? Are you in? Will you play in that kind of weather?
You know what? For tournament, I'll play. Just because I enjoy the tournament atmosphere. Maybe my blood's a little warmer with tournaments, If my buddies called me and said, let's go play around, I'd probably say I'm not feeling well or something, figure something out. But for tournament, I'll be out there and play.
I'll lend you my cart cover with the heater and everything. You can have the heated cart.
You know what? I have a cart cover and a heater too, and we use it maybe twice a year here in El Paso, but the times that I do need it, I got it prepared.
Okay. All right, then forget about that June, July stuff. You don't want to come here in June, July. It's so hot and humid. I mean, I don't know. You don't get the humidity like we get here.
So, no, we just get dry heat.
Yeah. Yep.
So what have you been doing with yourself, Roger?
So I did get a lot of golf in the actual month of January. I came to Hilton Head there. I think I played 8 rounds in 5 days.
Okay.
My timeshare is at Shipyard, but I played 36 holes twice, and I played, I think, 5 different courses, though.
Nice.
Shipyard is now a member of the Heritage Club, I think it's called. So I kind of played their courses, but it was nice. I played Oyster Reef, and of course I played Shipyard and a couple others. And the weather hasn't been too bad here. I play in the cold weather, so I've gotten rounds in at my home course as well. So I've played a decent amount this January and February.
That's awesome. So you're ready. You got your first tournament tomorrow. So you're ready. You've been playing enough. You're ready to go.
I hope so. I think if Chris has putter problems, mine's been the driver. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. We're playing at Kingsmill in Williamsburg, which is one of our favorite courses on our tour. The funny thing, not funny, I don't know how often this, but the champ, A and B are all playing the same tees tomorrow. So that's a little challenging for me, even though the course isn't too long, with at least the tees that he has set up. Mm-hmm. But we'll see how it goes. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
So what distance is that? Does he have you playing?
I think it's about 6,400 tomorrow.
Okay.
So not too bad.
Yeah, especially early in the season, and like you said, it was raining up there today. It's going to be a little bit wet. So that's not too bad. It's a good break in for you.
Yeah. I'm not a big long ball hitter off the tee, which if there's no roll tomorrow, could hurt me a little bit, but we'll see. It was funny. I went to my course and I intentionally played the longer tees so that I knew, like, if I didn't reach the green, I'd be hitting, practicing my wedges and stuff. So I did prepare pretty well for this tomorh. So awesome. See how it goes.
And
we have 120 players.
Oh, wow, good.
Coming out.
Good. So that's full field for you guys, right?
Yep. Yeah. Right now we do 120 is full. Sometimes he'll raise it up to 144 if he can do it.
Right.
But to start off the season, we've got 120. And C and B flights usually have a good amount, like 30 to 40 players in both of those flights.
That's awesome. So what do you guys do for cash games? Because once you get those big fields like that, the cash game numbers can really get big. What do y'all do?
They sure do. So we do $20 flight skins. Then we do $10 super skins. So you're competing against the entire field. And then we also do a $5 closest to the pin. And when you got 40 guys in the B flight at $20, and most guys get in, that's $700 to $800 that we're splitting between just a few of us usually.
Yeah,
so it's a nice payout.
That's a real nice payout. And even at $10 for the supers, that's a 12. If let's just say 110 people get in, that's $1,100 pot. You're probably generally only splitting that maybe 3 or 4 ways anyway. With that larger field.
Yeah. And there's some guys from whether they're D flight to champ flight, they're in it every week. I know they're like the super skins. A lot of the guys think, well, the champ flight's going to be the only ones to win those. But yeah, there were C flighters and D flighters. I know there were C flighters last year on our tour that won super skins. So you just never know when it's going to be your day. Yeah.
That's why I say you always make a donation and you never know what's going to pay off.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad to have you back, and we'll be back more on a regular schedule now that we're back having tournaments. But let's get into some rules things. Let's start with the PGA stuff that's been going on, because some of the things that happen in the PGA really happen to us really all the time, like Jordan Spieth being disqualified for signing an incorrect scorecard.
Yeah. So like on our tour, and I don't know how, I'm assuming all the tours do it the same. We have one scorecard that one cart will keep, and then the other cart will do the live score. At least that's how we do it on our tour. Mm-hmm. In the PGA, and I'm assuming that it's all done, the players, they switch cards. So I think in Jordan Spieth's case, I think Cantley had his card.
Right.
But there's a tear-off sheet, and they have this tear-off sheet. So you record your own score, but the opponent is recording your score as well. And what happened with Jordan, he had a 4 on the par 3 hole. I think it was his 4th hole. And, that was early in the round. And you'd think, even though the TV had it right and people are around, he recorded the 3, even though he had a bogey on that third, the par 3. And once he left the scoring tent, he signed for 72, but it was really a 73. And once you leave that scoring tent, it's over. He got DQ'd.
Right.
And so there's actually been a lot of talk about that, with TV analysts and the TV showing the right score. and all of that. Should this still be like part of the rules, I guess you'd call it. And the thing is, it's still the responsibility is on the player, and he's got to record that right and sign it right and have the right score. And in today's electronic technology and all that, you'd think maybe somebody in the scoring tent would have, I don't know how they, I've never been in that part of it to see like what happens right after they sign the card. But he turned it in. He had a double on the last hole, so I know he was probably a little bit, out of sorts to begin with, because he had a great first round. I think he shot a 66, and then he had that double on the last hole. So it kind of, messed him up, and he probably went through too fast, and that's what happened. So it was too bad.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
I've actually been a walking scorer, at a couple of the senior tour. And, when you actually go into the room, whatever it is, depending on where the tournament is, the walking score, actually, we were told to stand behind the player. Don't say a word unless they ask you to read the scores. Right. And so we're not allowed we weren't allowed to say anything unless we were asked.
Interesting.
So,
interesting. Yep.
So, now each tournament may have that process a little bit different, just like we may be a little bit different, but to me, it's probably the same process. And for our tournaments, it boggles my mind that when we tell the players this all the time, please double check your individual scores. I don't want to know about totals. I want to know what you got on individual holes. And it seems like the guys, a lot of times, they don't go through the holes. They just add up, what they got on the front, what they got on the back, and then total it up. And that's where we generally, at least from my perspective, where we generally run into problems.
Yeah, I was going to bring up that I would say, and I'm not exaggerating here, all the tournaments I've played, I'd say at least a third of the time to half the time, when we go over the scores, even in our little foursome, there's some discrepancy. Somebody says, no, I had a 3 on that hole, but either the live score guy has it as a 4 or the person that wrote it down. And it happens way more than I think it should. And I just had, like, when I start off my group, I always say to the guys, listen, when we're done with the hole, tell me your score as in a number, not like I got a bogey or I got a double bogey, but tell me I got a 3 or I got a 4, because some guys, they're not familiar with the course. Maybe it's a long par 4 that somebody thinks is a par 5. So they think they got a par, but it was really a bogey, that kind of thing. And to not wait to do those scores either when you're writing or putting them in. Don't wait, 2 holes like, and people forget, and I can understand that, but to do it like as soon as that hole is complete and for everybody to hear what you got so that everybody knows, what that number is.
Yeah, I mean, as a player, this has actually happened to me. My first season with the tour before live scoring even existed, I got DQ'd from my first major when I was going to win by like 5 strokes. And
oh, geez.
The excitement, it's your first tournament, you're going to win. You didn't know how you were going to do. Just the excitement of signing the scorecard and turning it in and not even looking at it costed me a major in a tournament. So there is, that mindset, or not mindset, but like it can affect you a little bit. But I mean, these guys are professionals. They have a guy walking with them called his caddy that can also keep score for him. So I understand how people are complaining this, this rule should be taken out, this and that. But at the end of the day, if we're turning in wrong scorecards, how do we know whose is right? And like you said, with all the technology and the media out there and all the cameras, somebody has to have the right score, and you would hope it'd be the players.
For sure. Yep. One interesting tidbit on this. So if you sign a scorecard, maybe you know this, if it's higher, you shot a 72, but you signed for a 74, that's okay. You're not disqualified for that, and you have to accept the 74, which I just thought that was interesting. You're also signing an incorrect scorecard, but if you're higher, you're not disqualified.
Right. And I think at some point, the player has to take some responsibility for this. We're the only sport that we call penalties on ourselves.
Right.
It's supposed to be a game of honor and integrity. We have to take responsibility for our score. That's to me, that's part of the game of golf. I almost kind of liken it to, are you going to take your mom with you to a job interview to make sure you answer the questions right? You're
not wrong there. It is a gentleman's sport, but at the same time, like you said, we are calling penalties on ourselves. Some tend to not call penalties on themselves and hope nobody catches it. But at the end of the day, it's you against sometimes yourself and other golfers, but it's the only sport where it's just, it's you by yourself, and you have to keep yourself honest throughout 18 holes.
Right.
Yep.
How about missing a tee time? How often does that happen?
So it happens on tour. I read, it did happen a few times last year. So the gentleman who it happened to, it was Tom Kim, which I didn't realize he'd already won 3 times on tour. So that's a PGA Tour. This past event. You have to be there if you're within 5 minutes after your tee time, you get a 2-stroke penalty. And I saw him running across the green to get to his tee time in that video. And man, the looks that he was getting from other players, it was pretty funny actually. But he was sprinting there. So he actually made it on time, and he made a par on his first hole. But if you're over the 5 minutes, you are DQ'd. And last year myself, I was an hour late, so I didn't even make the time. So I called Lyle and I said, you know what? I thought it was 9:30 and it was 8:30, so I didn't get that one. But yeah, it happens on tour, and probably, not too often. Hopefully, like you said, these guys are professionals. They should know. I don't know what happened with this guy, but it does happen.
Well, and it happens with us a lot too. I had a pretty big to do with this issue at a tournament last year. And in Atlanta with traffic, if something happens and there's an accident or traffic, you can forget it. You're going to be late. We actually had 2 issues. So one, we had a tornado come through and knock trees down, so people couldn't actually get to the course. Right.
Oh no.
And so, yeah. Wow. Oh no. Yeah. And so people were coming in, and obviously we're not penalizing anybody or anything like that. I'm just trying to make sure I get at least 3 guys to be able to send off. But we had another one where there was an accident and a guy was late. I'm a little bit more lenient with this, unless it happens repeatedly, right?
Right.
And so I said, if there's a spot that I can move you, I'll move you. If there's not a spot, there's nothing I can do. And what ended up happening is there's happened to be a spot in the last tee group of the day, so I put him in there, and he was in the A flight, and all the rest of the A players were really upset and bent out of shape. And I said, it's really kind of my call. It wasn't like he just showed up and didn't call. He was communicating the whole way. He was penalized for missing the tee time, 2 strokes on the first hole. And, we had, at least from my perspective, if we can get him out, in this scenario, right? If we can get him out, we should get him out and move on.
Let's take a quick break and hear from our sponsor, Srixon.
ZX Mark II drivers are for major players, major winners, major power. All new ZX Mark II drivers, only from Srixon.
Yeah, so on our tour, which I'm thinking that you use tee times for a lot of your events, maybe.
Yeah.
And with the amount of players we have, we're usually at a shotgun. So on ours, it's a little tougher to do stuff like that because, we might have an A and a B. We often have A and B groups on holes.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Lyle can move somebody to the B group, but he's probably still going to penalize him 2 strokes.
Right.
Yeah.
Or even they show up and they take triple. If they miss 3 holes, they take triple. And they can still play, but they get triple in whatever holes. Yeah.
Yeah, we had that at our event last year, and one of my champ flight guys was running late. It was an accident on the major highway, and I did the same thing to him. I moved him down. I think it was 4 or 5 tee times. Played with a bunch of sea flighters, and at the end of the day, we had the final call, and I just told the other champ guys, like, if it was you and you were trying to make it to a tournament, you would hope I'd help you out some way. So as much as you're going to be out of shape that now he's playing and you're done, and if there's a playoff, you have to warm up again, you would hope to have the same respect and me trying to help you out as well.
Right. Because again, it's competitive golf, but it's also, it's also supposed to be fun and collegial and we're not pros. We're not
right.
We're not 3-putting for
settle down.
Right.
So, but I mean,
yes.
and other tour directions may handle it differently, and that's fine. I just like Chris, how I handle it. And if the downside is if it happens to somebody else and I can't do that, then I've got to deal with that with the other side. Well, why didn't you help me? But then they've got to understand that, it's a case by case basis. If I can help, I'm definitely going to help you.
Yeah, I think Lyle does a great job on, working with us, even in our shotguns. He does what he can.
Right.
And he just, he does say, communicate with him so he knows what's going on.
But Roger, that's in life, right? And in pretty much everything that we do, if we've got responsibilities, if we got, most of the time, if we let people know what's going on, things will work out.
For sure. Yes, sir. Yeah, I wanted to go over the Rory McIlroy incident. And this is like something to learn on the rules here with the back on the line relief where he got a 2-stroke penalty. His ball was under a tree or a bush and he decided it was unplayable. And he used back of the line relief, which is keeping the ball, the place where the ball is and the flag stick go back as far as you want, dropping. And the new rule is you drop the ball on that line and then it can roll 1 club length. And that's the relief area once you determine the line itself. And then you have to drop on that line and the ball could roll one club length. It can roll a club length forward, to the side, or back. The old rule, before it changed, you found your line, and then you could drop the ball from the line a club length, not on the line.
Yes.
And that's what Rory did, and that's where he got why he got penalized. The funny thing about that, and I saw this, and it really made me think about this, because it's really, I think, a pretty harsh penalty to get 2 strokes for that, but the rule is the rule.
Right.
And the reason I'm saying that is, let's say you do it incorrectly, but your ball rolls onto the line itself. So it ends up there, and that's exactly where you were supposed to be in the first place. But because you proceeded wrong, you're getting a 2-stroke penalty. Does that make sense with you guys, what I just explained?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty harsh because the ball ends up right where it's supposed to be,
right,
or right where you're supposed to drop in the first place. But because you didn't establish that penalty relief area to begin with, you get a 2-stroke penalty. And it all has to do with, well, first it has to do with the fact that you didn't follow the procedure right.
Right.
But could it give you it's a breach, a serious breach that you played from a wrong place versus just a breach of the rules where you're not going to get a DQ for a serious breach? Because that's what would happen if you play from a wrong place. And let's say it's 50 yards off, likely you're going to get a serious breach,
right,
and you're going to get disqualified. But, dropping, a club length, it's not going to make a big difference. But I just want to follow that up with one other thing. So a lot of people take like back of the line relief for a drive that went 250 yards down the fairway into some water. And you take back on the line relief and you think you know where that ball went in, so you make your best estimate. But shoot, you could be 5 yards off because you don't have TV cameras out there. So you're taking relief along that line that you determine. And did you really know that it went in at the specific spot that it went in and you're taking the line back? Or was it really 5 yards to the left or 3 yards to the right and you determine that line? So taking that line back to me is like, there's a little like gray area there, but you do the best you can with the rule and you try to drop on whatever line you decide.
Right.
And, it's just one of those things that you have to do it the way the rules say.
Mm-hmm. So I've got a couple questions on this because it just gets me thinking. So in the case of Rory, number one, was he with a rules official when he made the drop? If so, why would the rules official let him drop that way? Or do they just not communicate that?
No, I don't think there was, because what I heard on that was that it was a video evidence later on that somebody saw that, and that's how it got determined. Now, I don't really know the answer. There's usually with a player with like Rory, they usually do have somebody close by at least. But maybe this happened, and because Rory, I know they said he like marked the spot, and that's how they knew that he was doing it wrong after the fact. So maybe he proceeded and didn't wait for the rules official because he'd been doing it for so many years. He thought he knew it, so he didn't even ask for a rules official to come over.
Right.
But, there's not a rules official with every group all the time, maybe, or the official was doing something else at the time. But I would think a major player like Rory would have somebody close by. And yes, the rules officials can tell you if you're proceeding incorrectly. They're not going to witness something and just let you get away with it and say, "Oh, right, hey, by the way, you just got penalized."
Yeah. That makes more sense than watch him do it. So the other question I have would be, let's say he obviously did an incorrect drop, right?
Right.
What if his playing partner said, "Rory, you did it wrong"? Is he allowed to, as long as he doesn't hit the ball, he's allowed to pick the ball up and re-drop it?
That is correct. Okay. Yeah. If you drop incorrectly and before you play that ball, then yes, you can proceed correctly. Yeah, absolutely right. Who knows? Maybe, I don't know. I guess, it is kind of, it's not that new, but even for me, dropping on the line itself, that is new for me too. So I know it, but I'm sure a lot of people don't realize that now. Or they think like I do, you take a drop and it goes right where it's supposed to. That looks good to me, but that's not how it works now.
Right.
And the way it was described to me was that you have to create that relief area, and him just dropping, he never created the relief area. And now remember, it used to be no closer to the hole, all that stuff. Now it can roll in any direction, and none of that happened because he didn't determine where he didn't drop on the line itself.
Right. Well, he won't do that again.
Yeah, he won't. And Jordan will check his scorecard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, I check my scorecard 4 or 5 times now before I turn it
in. Yes. Chris Rocher will definitely check it from now. I don't want you missing out on another major, that's for sure. Have you won one since then? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I've won plenty since then.
No, a major. I know you won. Yeah.
No. I won at least one major a year. I'll win here.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah.
And then I go to Arizona to one of their majors, and I'm usually the favorite there. I don't know what it is about that course. It's a home away from home course. But when I was in C-Flat, I won 3 years in a row and then got bumped up, and all the C-Fighters were happy that I got bumped up, and the B-Fighters weren't happy that I got bumped up. So I don't know what it is about that course, but I enjoy it. And maybe it's because there's no cell service, so it's just I don't have to focus on anything else but golf. I don't know, but it's a good time.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's good. All right, when I grow up, I want to be like you. That's yeah. Hopefully, I'll get to compete against you in the B-Flight someday. Yep,
soon.
That'll be fun.
Yes, I had 2 other quick things if we got time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Things that were asked of me. Just recently, a player's ball was not on the putting green. He was chipping, but there were a lot of ball marks on the green, and it came up. Are you allowed to repair ball marks on the green when your ball is not on the green? And the answer to that is yes. Putting green is a special place, and you are allowed to fix, ball marks, repair the green to the extent that it's supposed to be.
Right.
So I thought that was a good question because that happens pretty often, especially the wintertime. People aren't fixing their ball marks, and I thought that was a good question.
Now, let me ask you this, because I am a Texas wedge player. If my ball hit in front of the green, let's say, but stayed off, right? So like the fringe area, and left the little ball mark, is that fixable or that is not fixable?
not fixable if that's in your line. And I have seen guys in my casual rounds do that. And I've seen guys on tour do it as well. And nope, you're not allowed to do that.
Okay. Was that a 1-stroke penalty or?
That'd be a one. Oh, shoot. I'd have to look that one up. Sorry.
I assume most everything's a 1-stroke penalty unless it's like severe.
Right. And it kind of brings me to something else. You hear this term, play the course as it lies, or play it, that everybody says that, but this came up recently too. And you can only take that so far. Like if you played the course as it lies or as it is, that would mean you never get to pick up loose impediments, or you never get to, make your stance. And some guys go over the top with that, and just be careful because the rules are there to help you too. And just something like loose impediments, even in a bunker, that you're allowed to, remove stones from the bunker and stuff. Don't let somebody that you're playing with go overboard with and as a rules official, probably sounds funny for me to say that, but it occurs, and people are like, hey, you're not allowed to do that, and say, well, yes, you are. So that's just one of those things in the rules, knowledgeable things that you need to know, that some of these things are allowed, and not everything out there on the course has to be played the way it is.
Right.
Right. But at the end of the day, it's supposed to be enjoyable. And if we're over here being rules police, it's not going to be enjoyable for you or your playing partners.
Yep. And one other thing I had, so it's, we've had a decent winter here, but there were weeks there where the ground was kind of cold, and it came up. You guys are familiar probably with like the rubber based tees that they use at a golf range that you can stick through the bottom of the golf mat.
Right.
And somebody had one of those, and he had it in his bag. Actually, I have one too for the same reason. And the question was, is this allowed on the golf course? Can you use this tee? And answer again, it's yes. It's designed to tee up a golf ball. As long as it's under 4 inches, because some of those ones at the driving ranges are pretty big, but it has to be 4 inches or less. So it is the design to use for a golf ball. So yes, those are allowed. I kind of got into a question with somebody and this came up in one of my golf rules groups. Could you use like a bottle cap or a bottle, even if it was not too high? And the equipment rules say it's something to be designed to hold a golf ball. And I was just thinking about all the different types of tees that are out there. I don't know if you've seen how many different types of tees and shapes and sizes, but I'm thinking, well, a bottle cap isn't designed to hold up a tee, but a ball, but it could do it. And then it was brought to my attention, well, think about the equipment rules for clubs and balls. And when I thought of it that way, it's like you can't use a baseball bat to hit your golf ball with, but it probably would work. I mean, it would work, but the tee rule is like equivalent to that in that it's designed to hold a golf ball. So if you ever see anybody out there putting it on their beer can or something, well, that's not allowed to.
I only do that for fun rounds.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Well, Roger, thank you so much. Informative as always. And I wish you all the best tomorrow, and hopefully you come home with some cash.
Thank you very much. I will. Well, I guess we'll find out next round. I did want to just mention next weekend, the weekend after this is when I'm going to USGA Rules of Golf, the 3-day USGA workshop up in Richmond. And so if anything big comes up, shoot it to me, and I can ask at the seminar.
Awesome, nice.
And I'll be there with a whole bunch of other rules geeks like me.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to hear how it went next time too.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, bud. Take care.
You have a good one, Roger.
Take care.
All right, so we just had some great interviews. I hope you enjoyed them. But we are pleased to announce the January shirt contest winner. I know we had 2 entries, both from the El Paso Tour, so I'm working hard to get our entries in. But just remember, when you do enter, if you are picked for the monthly winner, not only do you get a 1 in 8 chance on winning a free national championship entry, but also some exposure for your tours. So we want to announce the January winner from the El Paso Tour. Jordan Morrow. Jordan, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
So you wore a very unique shirt, which I was actually excited that it was the winner for the first one. You want to go and explain to the audience what you decided to pick out?
It's a blue Bad Birdie shirt, and it's got a lot of boats on it. It's actually one of my work shirts. They give us Bad Birdie shirts, so that's pretty cool.
That's
not just a blue Bad Birdie shirt with a lot of boats on it.
That's not a bad thing to have.
Yeah.
So the boats, then you went off to title it, what was it? Something for the marina for Hilton Head?
Yeah, something for just Hilton Head Island. Because they got a lot of boats.
Which is, I mean, that's cool. That's cool that, you kind of tied it into Hilton Head, where the national championship is every year. It was a close race. I believe it was 110 votes to 106 votes. Let me double check that. But I believe it was that close. Right. 110 to 103. So I remember seeing you post something about a final push on the last day of voting. I think that might have helped you.
Yeah, I think it did, because he was beating me by 1 or 2 votes the whole month, basically. And then finally, I just reposted it the day before the last day. I think maybe he forgot.
So you're the first one entered into our 8 lucky shirts that will then be voted by everybody in kind of like a March Madness bracket style voting in September. How do you feel your chances are so far?
Well, I don't know. Probably going to be tough because there's probably going to be a lot of good shirts. So I'm going to probably try to keep entering them so I have better chances.
Yeah, I mean, you can enter all 8 months, and if you win 7 of the 8, I think your odds are pretty good of winning.
Yeah.
So I did see at our last event, you did have a very unique shirt. I can't wait to see you enter that one.
I haven't gotten around to posting it yet because we had a late night after the tournament, but I should be doing that later on today.
A lot of tours are starting up in March. So now there's going to be, January and February was the month to get shirts in if you had an event or went to go visit it at another tours event. Because come March, we're going to get a lot of entries in and the voting is going to be a little bit tighter. But Jordan, really quick, congratulations. I'll be voting for you come the bigger bracket style tournament if I'm able to vote. Yep. I couldn't vote this time, which was tough because they were both in my tour and I didn't want one to be upset. So yeah, I decided to keep my vote to myself. But we're gonna move on from Jordan, who was our first ever shirt contest winner, because this is something new, to our icebreaker senior regional champions that Tim was able to interview over there in the East Coast. So we'll go on and go to him. Again, Jordan, thank you very much, and you have a good one.
All right, thank you.
All right, so we're here at Sea Pines for the senior icebreaker. First round yesterday was at Atlantic Dunes with a second round follow-up at Heron Point. So we've got the champ flight winner from Central Carolina, Dean Parziale. Dean, congratulations and welcome.
Thanks. Always nice to win. We got lucky, had great weather. The courses are in phenomenal shape. The greens are fast. I think that favors myself. I'm a good putter. I always have been. And you see a lot of people struggle out there with the speed of the greens, and just pitching to the greens is very, very difficult. So, a good short game is key out here.
Yeah, just talking to people as they came off the course yesterday, the greens were really fast, especially if you're not used to it. I saw some people put the ball in the water on 9 from where that pin was. If you were above the hole and you're not used to it, you could actually put the ball in the water.
Yeah, 9 is very scary. Last year we played, it was all the way back, and seen the same thing, people putting it off the back of the green. Luckily, I was standing out in the fairway. We watched the guys in front of us who were all behind the pin and struggle with it. I did the same thing, hit it past the pin, but I did coast it down for a no stress par. So all great.
Yeah. So yesterday you finished 2 back of the leader. You shot 80. Tell me about your round yesterday.
Yesterday was a little struggle. I had 3 penalty shots, 2 balls in the water. Took an unplayable lie on the first hole. There wasn't a smooth, stress-free round by any stretch. And actually, started playing well, but then brought a whole lot of people back into the tournament by double bogeying 16 and 17. But that's the way it goes out here. It's a tough golf course. It's narrow, it's firm and fast. You have to hit it straight. As well as having the good short game. It's a good test.
Yeah. But even with those double bogeys, you're still right in the mix, but you're only 2 strokes back. Yep. And today at the Heron Point course, you had a solid round of 77. What happened today?
Today was just I played well. I hit it where I wanted to. Hit a lot of greens. Made a couple of birdies. Birdied the first par 5, and I think 16 on the backside, hitting it to a foot. But just kind of I was hitting it well, which is a key out here. So, you just got to keep hitting it straight. When you don't hit it straight, you take penalty shots. Exactly. Everyone does. And it seemed like I took a bunch of penalty shots, but I guess I took less than most anyone else. So all good.
So you finished around at 2-day total of 157, but you were tied with Trey Coker, the tour director from Louisiana. Then you all went to a playoff. You won in a 1-hole playoff. Walk me through the whole.
Trey, we both hit in the fairway. I hit a driver. Trey chose I think a 3 hybrid. He had a longer shot into the pin, but we both hit it to about 10 feet. He happened to be on the wrong side of the hole. I had a semi uphill side hill putt, and unfortunately he just hit his 4 or 5 feet by the hole, and didn't make the one coming back. So not the way you want to win, but
a win's a win. And just as you were walking in, people were talking about the player on the Corn Ferry Tour who shot a 57, last week.
Yeah.
And I read an article about it, and he said he really should have shot a 56, but 57 is a 57, right? So you take what you can get, and if that's what happens, it's too bad that, again, you feel bad for Trey for missing a putt or whatever, but, over 157, 161 shots, there's always 1 or 2 that we want to be able to take back.
There's a whole bunch I'd like to take over. It's funny, I've played here, I think 4 years now, and never cashed a check. It can go bad out there very, very easily. It's obviously the first tournament of the year. You haven't played any competitive golf in 3 or 4 months, and you come out here and the greens they're running at probably 12, and it's tight. It's hard.
It is, but this is a good win. Not only is it a win, first tour of the year, you get 900 points, so now you're leading points in Central Carolina, so you're already leading points, but you've already punched your ticket to national championship, so it's a really good win.
Yeah, it's great. I've never played in the national championship, but maybe I'll come this year. I think you'll probably have it back here in Hilton Head somewhere. It's always a fun place to come. Bring the girlfriend and have a good time while we're here too.
Well, she actually came by and asked where you were on the scoreboard because she couldn't find the scores. And at the time, I told her you were tied for first, and you still had a couple holes left to play. And she said, "Well, I'll just sit over here and try not to jinx anything."
Yeah, no, she's. We've been getting together a good long time, and she's seen plenty of good wins, and she understands the game.
That's awesome. Well, Dean, congratulations and best of luck the rest of the year.
All right, great. Thanks. I appreciate it. And thanks to everyone who ran the tour. Both Dennis and Marty, who, I think this is his territory here. Yeah, they do a great job, and it's first rate. So thanks.
It really is. All right, take care. We got the A-Flight champion, Wayne McKinney from the Augusta Tour. Wayne, congratulations on your win today.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it. A lot of fun.
So yesterday you played at you played the Lang Dunes course. You finished tied for first with 79 with John Lyles. Tell me about the course yesterday and your round.
Course was really good. I just tried to keep everything in front of me all day yesterday, and I did that until I looked at the leaderboard and saw that I was in first place, tied for first place, and then I kind of lost focus.
You bogeyed 17. Double bogeyed 18, but this is still 79 is a good score, especially when you compare it to not only scores in A flight yesterday, but scores in every flight. They were relatively high. I talked to the champ flight winner a little bit ago, and he was talking about the speed of the greens. And I don't know how you did on 9, but there were some people putting the ball off the green into the water on hole number 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about the greens yesterday.
Oh, the greens were really fast. They were a lot faster. I played a practice round on Thursday. They were a lot faster on Friday than they were on Thursday. It took some getting used to. The greens were, of course, in magnificent shape. The whole golf course is perfect condition. The greens were really, really fast. Took a little getting used to, but once I got used to it, it went fine.
And so today you played the Heron Point course and you shot 77. You actually won by 6 strokes over Bob Hannikin from the Jacksonville Tour. Tell me about today. How'd the round go today?
It went really, really well. I found something on the driving range on Friday morning that really, really, really helped me out a lot. I found a great little tip on the driving range. I used that yesterday, and then today I used it again today. It worked great. I just try to keep everything in front of me. I tried not to overpower anything. I tried to keep it in play, not trying to hit crazy shots. If I got into a little bit of trouble, I try to just get myself out, not have a big number. And I was able to do that all day today.
Well, that's really smart. You know, all the courses that we play here in Sea Pines, you know, whether it's Harbor Town, whether it's Atlantic Dunes or Heron Point, those are, you really have to think, you know, as you work your way around each of those courses. And like you say, don't overpower anything, because these aren't holes or courses that you can overpower. You have to be smart. You have to play position golf, and you have to make sure that, you know, you don't put yourself out of position, because you've got to make that next shot. When you look at the scores overall on A-Flight, you had 2 really, really good days. You know, obviously you had low round yesterday, tied for low round yesterday, and you're 1 shot off a low round today. And, you know, like we talked about, the 77 on this course is really good. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. A lot of fun. Had a great time. The weather was perfect. We had a great time. Camaraderie with all the guys. Lots of fun. And a well-run tournament. Y'all did a great job. We really appreciate it.
Well, thanks. It's about time we had some good weather for this tournament, isn't it? Better things here. Exactly. Well, again, congratulations. You know, you punched your ticket for national championship, and I know you're going to be here for that anyway. And good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you very much. Enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun.
But take care.
Thank you.
All right, back in the clubhouse at Atlantic Dunes with the B-Flight champion, Kevin Martin from the Coastal Georgia Tour. Kevin, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Tim.
So you had 2 really good days, 2 days score of 162. Before we talk about today, let's talk about your phenomenal round yesterday. You shot 75.
75. Yeah, it was the best round I've had in 25 years. I just had my irons on, and I don't hit the ball real long, but I hit it straight, and I chipped real close and made 9 1-putts. Plus a couple 3 birdies yesterday, none today, but it was a heck of a round yesterday.
Well, yesterday, you know, one of those birdies held up her skin, so you got paid a little bit yesterday, and you know, to be able to chip it up close and have 9 1-putts, that's really good for those greens yesterday. You know, hearing all the guys come off complaining how fast they were, you know, and for you to be able to get the ball stop on a chip, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was amazing how fast they were yesterday, but today was just a little slower, but again, still way faster. And I live up in New Jersey, so all the greens up there are overgrown now, so it's very slow. But figured it out yesterday and held on enough today. Played against some really good guys today, Robbie and Butch, and it was an exciting match, and it came down to the last hole.
Yeah, so you really battled. So you battled all day long with those 2, right?
Battled all day long. Started out with a bogey, and then had a few pars in a row, 3 or 4 pars in a row, and then after that, I you know, again, it was starting to get cool in the back 9, and that's when some bad scores came in.
Well, you went into today with an 8-stroke lead, which is good, but you know, you still won by 2, right?
Yes, correct. I won by 2, and very happy that I held on. First one I've won in a long, long time. So,
well, the good thing about a win here is, you know, you get nationals paid for. So, you know, goal number 1 is taken care of for the year.
You got it. Exactly. I have a place here in Hilton Head, right on the 9th hole of Atlantic Dunes. And so I come down every year. Been on a tour for 14 years, and just enjoy the heck out of playing with guys from all over the country. And we all play legit golf, and we're all cheering each other on. So this is a great, great organization.
So what would you say is the one thing that keeps you coming back?
It's the quality of the competition and how nice these the other players are. No one's rooting against anybody. Everybody's rooting for you. Yesterday was amazing because the guys I were playing with just stopped talking to me. He said, we don't want to screw anything up for you. I shot 37-38 yesterday. I'm sorry. Yeah, 37-38. And it was just a phenomenal round. And thank goodness I did, because I wouldn't be talking to you now if I didn't shoot that. Eight strokes ahead. So
exactly. And when you talk about, the competition level, especially when you come to these regionals, you've got to have your A game because it's tough.
So good. The players on this tour are all the B flight players. As we all say, we're all Bs for a reason, but it is amazing competition. And it was at some point today I was tied. And then I got ahead by 2 and held on to it.
All right, we're back at Atlantic Dunes with the Sea Flight champion, John Klein. John, congratulations on the win today.
Well, thank you very much.
Before we really get into anything, yesterday you had a momentous occasion, and I just missed it. You had a hole in one. I think it was hole number 6,
number 7.
Hole number 7 on the Atlantic Dunes course. Walk me through. How far was it? What club did you use, and how you felt?
It was like 138, and it took a 8-iron, and I bounced it 2 feet in front of the pin and went in on fly.
So you actually saw it go in the hole?
I saw it go in.
And what happened? What were the emotions?
I probably got too emotional. I was really excited. Threw my hands up, jumped up. Everyone gave us high fives. So it was really nice. And guys I played with was fantastic. It was good.
That's great. Getting a hole in one is always good, but getting a hole in one in a tournament, that's even more special. So you walked away with a little bit of money. You got a super skin on that.
Super skin and regular skin. Yep. So.
That's awesome. And then that really kind of, I guess, is the capper of the day, because you when you finished yesterday, you were leading by 1 stroke over Greg Martin. So what was your mentality going into today?
Keep the ball in play. I put my driver away and used the 3-wood every shot, every hole. I did not use my driver today. And on the par 5s, I went with a 4-wood, laid up, went to the green.
Well, that's smart, and you had a really good score today as well. You shot an 82 on the Heron Point course, and that's a tough course. It's every bit as tough as Atlantic Dunes.
I think so. And 82, I timed my best score in a tournament, so I was real happy with the 82 today.
The low round for the Sea Flight was an 80 with Scott Holland, but you had a 6-stroke lead or 6-stroke win over Scott, who's from the Augusta Tour. My guess is you guys were not necessarily battling, but right there with each other all day.
Yeah, he wasn't in my group. He was a group ahead of me, so he played well today.
So you've been on tour for a while, right?
15 years.
And you said you used to be on the Columbus Tour.
Yes.
And now you're with the Coastal Georgia Tour.
Yes, I am.
And you're going to be, people are going to wonder who you are, because you haven't actually played in a tournament for the tour yet, have you?
No, I did not play yet. I'm going to play next Sunday. So be my first one.
But I'm sure the guys are going to be checking the points and who is this guy. What do you mean he's already got 900 points? And he's like, we don't even know him. Is he real?
Yeah. Well, that's a new tour this year. It's new. So there'll probably a lot of new people down there. So.
Yeah, there is going to be a lot of new people. Like I said, it's new. We're probably going to be drawing some from Jacksonville and probably maybe even up through Hilton Head and Charleston. But it's going to fill a void, and I'm sure that's going to be a pretty big tour.
Yeah, it's going to be great to have. It's close by. We've got a couple of tournaments scheduled on Hilton Head Island, so it's close. I live in Margaritaville.
Okay.
So I live in, Harryville, and he got a couple, around my place. So it's going to be so nice.
Well, again, that's awesome that you're going to be able to be close and I have to do a whole lot of traveling. It's also great that you won here, which is kind of really going to be local for you. Is you get to go to a local regional, and again come away with a win, because not only do you get 900 points and you're already going to be leading your flight into points, but you got nationals paid for, which check that. That's goal number 1 checked off the box after first tour.
Yeah, that's fantastic getting that paid for. My whole goal was try to win to get that done. This way I don't have to worry about getting the money paid for is already paid for. I could relax. I'm already in the tournament. Probably be playing B, I hope.
Well, you keep shooting scores like 82, 85. But that's really what we want, right? We want to get better. We want to continue to improve. It's great to win, but again, the whole purpose and whole goal is to get better. And actually, I hope to see you in B flight.
Yeah, me too. I've been in B flight 3 times, and I went back to C twice. Now, just my second time going back to C, and I hope by the mid-season I'll be a B player.
Well, again, you keep up the good work, keep practicing. Congratulations on the win, and congratulations on punch ticket to Nationals.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, bud. Take care.
Hey.
All right, we're back at the Plantation Club with the D Flight champion, and I thought the story of the day was John Klein with a hole-in-one yesterday, but that's actually been topped. So we're here with our D Flight champion. Had a heart transplant, did not even play last year. So please let's welcome, congratulate Jonathan Phillips from the Eastern North Carolina Tour on his victory. Number one, I didn't know you had the heart transplant until I saw you yesterday, and so that makes today even more special. I mean, you and I have been knowing each other for a while, so congratulations. It's good to talk to you.
Yep, thanks, Tim. 2022, I had a heart transplant. Didn't ever know if I'd come back and play again, but I had a game plan. I felt good health-wise. I'm doing great. I had a game plan I couldn't reach on the par 4, so I just get as close, chip and putt, and I kept it both days. Really didn't look at the leaderboard until somebody told me that how far I was ahead, and I just enjoyed it and just tried to grind it out.
Well, you did a hell of a job. I mean, you shot 89 yesterday on Atlantic Dunes. First and foremost, whether you're a C flight player or D flight player, an 89 is a really good score. I mean, you know how fast those greens were running yesterday, and you went 89. Tell us about it.
These two courses are phenomenal. The greens are spectacular. Speed, I caught on about after the second or third hole yesterday of the speed of the putts, and I just kept grinding. And these two courses here are great.
Well, you shot 92 today. I mean, if you don't have, I don't know for sure yet, but if you don't have a low round of the day, you're going to be one of the lowest rounds of the day. So you came back. When you come back, strong.
I did. A brand spanking new set of Callaway irons. I took the plastic out of them 2 days ago. So I mean, it's no new set of clubs, new heart. A new meaning of life, a second chance. So I just want to make the best out of it.
Well, you did a heck of a job. So your health is good. So we're going to see you more and more this year, right?
Yeah, you will see me at the Nationals.
Absolutely. I mean, you already punched your ticket, so you better show up.
That's it. I'll be there. And hey, Dennis and you. Y'all do a great job. Appreciate all your help and all you do for Golfweek.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. But it's if it wasn't for you all as players and as members, we wouldn't have a tour. And I can't tell you, number one, how much I appreciate you all as a whole. But number two, that you're here with us.
Yep.
That with all your struggles, and I can't wait to see you later in the year.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, bud. Take care. Oh, Chris, man. It was good to be able to go to the first senior icebreaker and talk to the winners. It's the first time in, I think, 3 years that we've had decent weather there, and the players really, really enjoyed it. They got to play 2 really good courses at Atlantic Dunes and Heron Point. Saturday was a little cold, but Sunday the weather was beautiful. It's all back up. It was a Saturday. Friday it was cold. Saturday it was nice because Sunday was Super Bowl. We didn't play on Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you're playing Super Bowl, I'm not registering.
Yeah.
No, it's great to hear from our winners. I'm glad we're able to do this and be able to capture all our winners. Because I mean, they're going out there and winning a big event. One of the bigger ones that we have all season long. Minus the national championship. So it's cool to have them on here. I'm glad you had good weather because I know that weather can turn on you guys in the heartbeat. I've seen it. I've played in it.
Well, I meant to tell you this, a couple weeks ago. When I went to the PGA show, I ran into one of your players, Billy Inoos.
Yeah.
and got talking to him. And number one, it was good to see him. I mean, he looked great. He was happy, and talk about winning a big event. And I know this is, you and I kind of talk about the VGA a little bit because
Right.
a lot of your members are veterans, and to me the VGA is different than our other competitors, right? Because
Right.
I think it serves a completely different purpose. And when we had Billy on last year, what golf has done for him and how it's kind of really changed his life. It's really special. And he won his flight. He won his national championship flight for the VGA, which I didn't know about. So it's good for him, but I do want to make sure we recognize that. And it's great to have him on tour. To me, it's just another example of what golf can do for people.
Yeah. I mean, you hit the nail on the head there when you said, VGA is not like any of our other competitors. I personally, knowing Billy for a while now, really good friends, I'm just super happy for what the VGA has done for him, with his mental health, his physical health, not just golf. Like they've tapped into him, complete 180, and just great to see him smiling more and call me, once a week just to see how we're doing and coming down to our events and having a good time. It's great to see him. So he did text me right when he saw you.
Yeah.
I think he sent me a picture of your name badge or something. And I was like, oh, I'm glad you guys got to meet up. But yeah, he's, he was just so excited to win his flight for VGA national champion. I think they gave him a red jacket for being a champion, and he gets to wear that every year moving forward, and has done so many things just to be a spokesperson for them. It's just crazy to see. And I believe they're sending him to the Masters for a practice round because he won the national championship.
Good for him.
So I'm a little jealous about that. I asked if he can take a +1. He said no, they don't allow +1s.
Well, you got to tell him, make sure he brings you something back too.
Oh, we've got that taken care of.
Okay.
We're building a list, so that's not a worry. It's a matter of being there and being able to walk. That would be better.
Well, when you see him, tell him again. I say congratulations and I wish him the best, and hopefully we'll see him. Hopefully I'll see him sometime this year if he goes to regionals, or if when he comes out here.
He's going with me up there to Michigan, to the Michigan
Awesome.
Regional, so he'll be up there.
Good.
Super excited to play that course because I know that course is also geared around military and what they do out there. So he's super excited to do there. And then we're planning a big nationals trip. Might play Tobacco Road and some courses all the way down to Hilton Head. So it's going to be a good time.
Good. Well, it's going to be great to see him. It's only a couple days left in the month. It's a leap year, so we have 29 days in February this year. So you've got a few more days to get your shirt submissions in. I'm glad you got to talk to the January winner, and I'm hoping we're gonna have some submissions for February. But I know come March, with more and more tours playing, we're going to be getting a bunch of submissions. I've already had a couple of people, not only from Atlanta but from DC and a couple other tours, reach out and saying they've already got their shirts ready. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see these shirts that come out. You know me, I pushed it at my last event this past Saturday, the best I can, and it's up for them to post it. I can't baby them and be their little mother hen and make sure that they post everything they need to. I did my part. I got them to bring a shirt. I got them to take a picture with the shirt, and the rest is on them. But I mean, this is January, February is the easiest time to get shirt entries in.
Exactly.
Because once every tour is out and playing, it's going to be a lot tighter, and I can't wait to see what our final 8 look like.
Man, it's going to be fun. It'll be fun. And that kind of leads into, we kind of talked a little bit about this at the opening of the show. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes after national championship and getting ready for the next year. When we started the podcast, I don't think either one of us thought that this was going to grow as quickly as it has. we've got sponsors now that are helping us do some travel. We've been working on a website, and this episode will be the first one that is posted to the new website. And like we told Matt, we can do a lot more with it. Posting pictures and sound bites and other things that are interactive and engaging, for the players. Now, as we're recording this, I don't know the exact web address of it, but it will be in the show notes, and you will be able to access it from the tour homepage. So
there you
remember
go.
when we talked about the regionals?
Same spot.
All you have to do is click the find a tour near me, and there'll be a spot there for the podcast. And it's the site is still a work in progress, and we're going to be updating it and until we get it the way that we want it, the way it's going to look good. So, but you're going to have access to pretty much everything from the podcast. The shirt contest, the rules, every episode that we've done, it will be coming. That could be up for right away, but it takes some time to upload those things. But the good things are happening, and Chris, you know this. We've got other things that we're not allowed to announce yet coming as well.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're gonna have our own page. Like you said, we didn't think it was gonna. Secretly we hoped it would explode the way it did. But being able to just see it, firsthand, everybody excited when we were at the regional in Vegas, like they wanted to be on the mic for a little bit, or national championship. It's evolved a lot, and I can't wait to see where we go in the future. But it's been a fun ride so far, and now with being able to have our own webpage, to put stuff up there that we can. For the podcast, is just going to make it go 10 times better.
Yeah. And, if you're listening to the podcast, again, we appreciate it. We thank you. This growth is really because of you, but, please make sure the rest of your friends are listening to it as well. Make sure you subscribe and download and actually give us some reviews as well, because obviously we want to make it better. If you have questions, you can email me or Chris. Be happy to answer them, answer them on an episode if that's what it warrants. But again, the podcast is really for you also, that you understand what's going on across the country, get an idea of what other tours are doing, hear stories about other members, so that it really does kind of grow the tour and that excitement.
Yes, it definitely does, and it's good to see the reviews that we get throughout the season. Last year we got a couple of questions that came in that Roger answered for us. So it just gives us more content that we're able to elaborate on. And we love to hear from you guys.
Yeah. So, as we really get started, this is the last episode for February. March is right around the corner, in a few days. So get out there, play some golf, get registered. If you're not already registered for the tour, register now, because like I said, tournaments are starting, and get out and start playing some golf.
Yeah. Enjoy it. Enjoy the time, because before you know it, it's going to get cold again. And I don't want that.
No, it's not going to get cold. We're going to heat it up.
There we go. I like that.
All right, my friend. Well, I know you got tournaments just coming up, right?
Yeah, we had a tournament this past weekend, third of the season, and then taking the family for a vacation for spring break, my wife's birthday, putting it all together, and then back at it again. Before you know, we're going to be seeing each other again at the regional coming up.
Yeah, we're going to have to. Well, enjoy vacation. Wish your wife a happy birthday. We'll leave you alone.
Speak birthdays. I believe your birthday just passed, and we need to wish you a happy birthday on the podcast.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think I'm 12. It's funny. I was talking to my granddaughter, and she said she's 4. She doesn't really understand. She said, you have birthday? I said, yeah, it's Pops' birthday. And I said, I'm 4 years old. And she said, well, I'm 4. I said, yeah, we're the same age. And she didn't quite understand, but yeah. But really, I am 4.
It's all good. You enjoy every minute of it, and just wanted to wish you a happy birthday as well on the podcast.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Well, you enjoy yourself, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
All right, bud. Bye-bye. Chris, we didn't do it again.
What didn't we do?
We didn't say how to join the tour.
That's right. It's simple. All you need to do is go to amateurgolftour.net, click the Join the Tour button, and pay your local tours membership.
Thanks, Chris. Membership for 2024 is open, so register today to join the oldest, largest, and best amateur tour in the country.